Have you ever been in a situation in which you had to just get on your knees and look up to God and ask, God, dear God, what did I do to deserve such horrible roommates? That's me. In fact, that has been me for almost 10 years of my life now. So today I am spilling the tea on bad roomies, bad roommates, bad juju. Stay away from me, juju. Oh my goodness. So I have been living away from my family, my parents, for the past 10 years. I did part of my high school in the States. I was in West Virginia, and then I did my entire undergrad year in the States in New York, and now I am in Canada, and I think this has been my worst experience thus far. Let me just go ahead and just break down the story a little. Hold on, I need some water. Oh, and for those of you that are at home right now quarantining, I hope you guys are doing good. Just know that we're gonna get through this. A lot has changed, a lot will change, but we're gonna get through this, guys. Drink your water. One more. All right, guys. All right, where do I begin? Let's start with day one. So, let me put this down. The first day that I came here, my 3 other roomies, I live in a household with 3 other people. They're right there. They can hear me, I don't care. But yeah, so I came into the household and 3 other people they got to the household before me. I guess they already formed cliques, bonds. I don't really want to sound racist, but they are all from the same place. And it baffles me, the fact that every time I go to a university, a school, some type of institution, they tend to put international students with international students, and it just doesn't make sense, because I am an international student and I want to get to know the locals. Why are you putting me in with more international students? In fact, why are you putting the same freaking nationalities together and just one other nationality in the mix? It's not really fair. Anyway, they formed their own little clique, and I guess they were going to go grocery shopping, and I was just coming in. I had my luggages, and I saw that they were leaving the household that I was entering. So I'm like, okay, these are my roomies. And I was like, hey guys, and I was trying to introduce myself, and these girls literally just looked me up and down, didn't say a word, and went into their Uber, and they were gone. And this is how I knew that God has blessed me with another group of just evil people. Evil doers. Alright, so where do I begin? A little bit about me. Actually, I didn't even introduce myself. Guys, my name is Miriam Wachiku. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click the subscription box below. Subscribe. I'm waiting. All right, let's get back. So a little bit about me, like I was saying, is that I'm a clean person. I really like to be clean, and over here we only have 1 bathroom. So it was kind of important for me to establish some type of cleaning schedule, because there's only 1 bathroom, there's 4 of us, and needs to be clean. And I'm not even asking for it to be cleaned every day, every week, but it needs to be clean, because females aren't exactly clean. Not all females are clean. Like, for example, my roommates, they leave blood on the toilet bowl. They leave open blood in the freaking toilet basket right there. They wash their freaking hair, blow dry it. There's freaking hair everywhere. The mirror, you can't really see anything. So without a cleaning schedule, I really cannot survive. So I kind of just sat everybody down. I was like, hey guys. Like, I introduced myself to them later on, and they were just like a little bit more perceptive, I guess. They said hello, they introduced themselves. I knew this was not going to be good. But anyway, we established a cleaning schedule. I drew it out for them, drew it out for everybody, and explained, and like we voted on how many days a week we should be cleaning, and we came up with like to be cleaning every 3rd week, and that was cool and everything. And yeah, we stuck to that. These females have never really cleaned a day in their life. I had to really teach them a lot of things, but that's besides the point. So how do we start? Where did this start going down the drain? Oh, all right. So my roommate right there, literally right there. These walls are so thin, you can hear everything, anything, things that you don't want to, things that you just don't need to be hearing. And I mean, hey, I understand we are adults and everything, but just, you know, keep in mind that there is one bathroom. There are 3 other females living in here. You should at least take some type of like, or at least inform the rest of us when you decide to have a freaking guest over. All right, so how did this start? So my roommate, whenever she talks to her boyfriend, that's when her like happiness comes on. Whenever she's not like on the phone, I can hear like there's a change in tone with her. Like I've tried to be nice to her, talk to her here and there. I guess she's the only one that I really had a problem to for so long, until I started having a problem with the other ones after. Oh my gosh, I can always hear the change in tone in her voice, and I can always hear her boyfriend on the phone. So there was one night I was like trying to sleep and I hear this very deep voice. I'm like, this sounds like her boyfriend, but it just sounds like he is so close. And I just let it go. I'm like, no, there's no way. Like she would have said something to us who were living here before bringing a guy over to spend the night. Like, what the hell? So the middle of the night comes and I have to go to the bathroom. I'm a female, I'm living with females, so I walk around in a bra and underwear sometimes, especially like when I'm sleeping and then I have to go to the bathroom. As soon as I open the door, on the other side there's a man. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, who are you? And what the are you doing in my house? And he didn't even like bother to talk to me. He just went on his way and went into her room. And so like in my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's whatever. It's cool. Maybe he'll disappear by the next day. Nope. The entire next day, I hear these people's conversation all day, all night. I hear them talking and talking and talking. And you know how like when you have somebody over, you have just that like motivation to keep your conversation flowing. You want to do things to entertain your other half. So you kind of just get lost in a different world. And it just got to the point where I could not study. I'm a graduate student. I came here to study. I did not come here to listen to you guys laugh, you scream, yell, moan. I just had enough. And so I like sent her a message and I was like, hey, like you guys are being loud. Can you please take it down a notch? I waited like 10 minutes. No response. Again, hey, did you get my message? Like, can you please take it down a notch? Nope. I'm like, you know what? I've had it. I go, I knock on her door. I'm like, hey, like I've messaged you twice. Is there a reason as to why you're not responding to my message? And she's like, I've never seen this girl laugh ever. And she's like, I didn't see my phone. I'm like, is that a joke? Your phone is right, it's in your hand. How did you not see my text message? She's like, oh, it's just like I got distracted. I'm like, okay, you know what, cool, whatever. Just can you please like take it down a notch? Like I'm trying to study and you guys are being very loud. She's like, I'm like, okay, thanks, thank you. So they took it down a notch and things were going good and blah blah blah. And so I had to go to bed. It was around midnight and I wake up at like 6 a.m. every day. Around like 1 a.m. I had had enough. From midnight, I was in my bed at midnight and like it was 1 a.m. and I still hadn't fallen asleep because they had brought their noise level to a whole nother level. And so I got so mad. I was like contemplating like, what should I do? Do I call the office? Do I call the police? Like noise disturbance, intruder in the house? Like what do I do? And so I was like, I went to my wall right here. I started banging. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to sleep. Take it down a notch. What the hell? Can you guys just stop? And oh my God. I went to bed at 2 a.m. that night. It was a very stressful night. Oh my gosh. And it just kept going on and on and on. So from that point on, every weekend from then onwards, this roommate of mine decided to bring her boyfriend over all the time, always. He was here Friday and he was leaving Sunday evening, Friday morning. Can you imagine having to listen to people laugh, scream, yell, have sex, moan, three days out of the 7? What would you do? Please tell me right now in the comments down, what would you have done? Because I did not come here for this. I'm paying good money to get an education and to study on campus. I did not pay to listen to this. And so I cannot, like, I asked all the girls, I'm like, hey, like, can we have like a group meeting so we can address the situation? Actually, let me not lie. I went straight to the office. I went to make a report, and they like advised me to try and speak to my roommates first before taking any other further steps, because I was ready to go to the po. We were gonna solve this right now. This girl needed to leave. So they're like, oh, have a meeting. So I had a meeting with everybody. I was like, hey, so what do you guys think about this? And then one girl was like, oh, I'm never really at home, so I don't really care. I'm like, so you don't care that I'm going through this right now? I understand that you guys live on the other side and you're not listening to moaning and yelling and screaming, but I am. Like, that's really inconsiderate of you to say, oh, I don't really care about the situation. And then another girl spoke up, and she was a little bit on my side. She's like, yeah, I agree, we're women, we only have one bathroom, like, it's really uncomfortable not to, like, to always have your boyfriend here. So the main culprit, her solution to this was, oh, my boyfriend is he lives from overseas, he's not really around often, I just like his company. I'm like, look, mine too is from overseas. Even if he was to come here, we would probably go somewhere if he was going to be here for that long. In fact, you know what, we would probably be living together, because this guy is here. He's been here for the past freaking 2 months. You guys might as well be living elsewhere. He's not paying anything to be here. And she's like, well, I just really miss him and blah, 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 blah. And so, like, she was like, okay, so what's going to happen is, like, I'm going to let you guys know whenever he comes. And he's not going to come as frequently. I was like, okay, thank you. That's good. Thank you so much. So, the next week goes, he didn't come. So I go, thank God. Hallelujah. Amen. The second week, he comes. She didn't inform anybody about his coming. Just like, you know what? You know what? Where is the popo? How do we solve this? Because this does not seem solvable. That's still on a wave. It's still being written out. Her boyfriend still comes here and there. I really don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to solve a situation like this. The best bet for me, I guess, is to move out, because I really have had enough. But I mean, that wasn't, like, the reason I haven't moved out yet, or the reason that I haven't moved out yet, I don't know, actually. Why haven't I moved out? I guess I'm just kind of scared, like, what else is out there? How did I end up in this situation? I always ask myself. I guess when you don't plan for the worst, you end up in the worst situation. I don't know how to put this, but I'm just, oh my gosh. Anyway, let me tell you about another story. All right, so with what's going on in the world right now, how do I put this? The reason why we are quarantining, a lot of places have sent people home to work from home. So I was like kind of volunteering at this place, and they needed us to like help them out from home. So they sent me home with 2 large monitors and a little PC. And so I brought it home one day, and if you guys haven't seen already like my apartment tour, I'm gonna put in like over here, like, so you can click on it, just so you guys can get a feel of what downstairs looks like. But basically there is 2 sections. One part of the section has like a living room with couches, and then like dining room table with chairs, and the other one just has dining room table and chairs. So I put the computers and the PC downstairs in one of the tables, and like, of course I plan to just leave it there because our rooms are petite, so tiny, so tiny. So I left it down there, and like I was setting it up, and one of the roommates comes and she's like, oh, that's so cool, what are you doing? I'm like, setting up computers. She's like, what's it for? I'm like, oh, I have to help this company out, so I'm just, you know, setting up computers. And so she's like, oh, that's so cool. And she's looking at all the stuff that I hung up on the wall, like information. And then she leaves. 30 minutes later, she comes downstairs. She's like, so, are you just gonna leave it there? I'm like, yes, B. I am. Why? She's like, well, this is an apartment for all of us. You should really be considerate about all of us. What if I want to sit at this table? I'm like, why though? And like, you know the reason as to why I brought this home. With everything that's going on right now, like, they wanted us to bring this home. That's why I brought it home. So I can't put it in my room. There's no space in my room. Of course, I'm just gonna leave it here. She's like, well, I really want to sit at this table. I'm like, the table right there is the same exact. There's not one scratch. There's no difference between the tables. Like, why do you want to sit at this table? She's like, I don't know. I just like this table. Like, here we go again. Roommate 101 issues. So I was like, look, darling, I have had enough of your nuisance. This is another roommate. Roommate number 2. I'm like, look, I've had enough of your nuisance. Just leave me alone. I've had a long day. I am not going to move this computer. If you really want to sit here, sit in this area, you can go get that table and pull it here and you can use it. But if you touch this computer, we're gonna have a problem. So she decides to go get the other 2 roommates to come and confront me. And I had just had enough. I had to FaceTime my 3 other sisters, you know, sister power, thank God for my siblings. And I was like, guys, like, please speak to this person because I cannot take her anymore. So they asked her, they're like, what's the problem? She's like, oh, well, your sister's putting her computer on that table and we might want to sit there. And they're like, well, there's a table right there. Like, what's the problem? Why can't you just use the other table? She's like, I just like this table. And my sisters were like, look, you need to stop causing problems. Like, there's no reason for this. And like, Miriam wouldn't have brought the computers home if she didn't have to. So they just kept going on and on. They weren't listening. And I was ready to fight. I would never ever fight, never ever lay a hand on somebody. But that was another, I was ready to pick up the phone, I guess, and call the po-po again. Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. That situation ended with me just going upstairs to my room. And I let them know, like, if I come downstairs and this computer has a scratch, anything on it, this whole house is going to be set on fire. We are going to go because I've had enough of your BS and I'm just done. So from that day onwards, that just happened recently, no one in the house has ever like talked to me, appeared at me, blah blah blah. They've just been like ganging up on me and I can feel it. And honestly, I don't really care. And I'm just ready to leave this household. All right, so another story, my last one. I was downstairs. No one is ever really downstairs. The only time anybody's ever downstairs is to come downstairs to cook food and to eat it and go back upstairs. So I was downstairs, I was on the computers, I was talking to the company that I'm volunteering with, and these girls come downstairs. They come downstairs with this TV thing that they had just bought, like a small screen, like a monitor, and these Wii's. And they turned the volume up to the loudest. And I couldn't hear anything. I was on the phone. I'm like, hey guys, air, just air. I'm like, guys, hello. And the person on the phone was like, hey, should I just leave you? No, you sound like you're busy. I'm like, no, just give me 1 second. So I go over there. I'm like, hello, I'm talking to you. Listen up. They're like, oh, what's it? I'm like, look, I'm on the phone. I was downstairs before you guys. No one's ever downstairs. Can you please just lower the volume? Please respect the fact that I was here before you and I'm actually doing work and you're not. They're like, so what do you expect us to do? I'm like, I just told you, lower the volume. They're like, why? We all live here. I'm like, yes, we all live here and we all came here to work. Right now you guys are playing video games and you're being extremely loud. And I was here before you and I'm trying to work. And so one of the girls who's not really in beef with me, she kind of just like, she's like, okay, we'll turn down the volume. So she turns down the volume just a little bit, and I just, you know what, I'm like, whatever, fine, I'm just gonna try and like hear whatever it is that this company has to tell me over the phone and get through it quickly. And so I was still on the phone. 30 minutes later, the girl who doesn't have beef with me leaves, and the two other little bees were still there. So I noticed that I couldn't hear anything again. And I go over there, I'm like, hey guys, like the volume is still up, can you please turn it down? And one of the girls who has the boyfriend over all the time, she's like, oh, we don't know how to turn the volume down. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know how to turn the volume down? She's like, this game is new and we just don't know how to turn the volume down. I'm like, do you need me to show you? She's like, oh, that would be nice. So I walk over there. I lift the monitor up and I put the volume down. I'm like, oh, there you go. She's like, oh, wow, that's how it works? I'm like, yes, yes, B. Yes, BB. And she's like, oh, you're so smart. Thank you. Oh my God. And so I just went back and I finished talking with the company, and then I went up to my room. It's just been hell, you know. Honestly, roommates are just the worst, but this has been the worst for me. Like, I have never felt so attacked by just 3 people from the same nationality. I tried to reach out to residents to kind of just change, but now's not the time with what's going on in the world. I think what's going to end up happening is me moving out to a place where at least I can have my own bathroom, so I don't really have to associate with people. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of tea, story time of the worst roommates on earth. Long story short, the way to end up with the worst roommates is to simply let your university pick your roommates for you. I mean, what better way than to just give the choice to somebody else? Just let them pick your roommates for you. I assure you, you probably will. Well, I guess if you have my luck, you will end up with the worst roommates on earth. But maybe you'll be lucky and end up with good roommates. I don't know. Play your cards right. Be careful. Right, so I think that just about wraps up some of my horrible experiences. Of course, I've had others, but then this video could go on forever, and I'm not sure you want me to keep going on. But if you do, of course, I would love to make like a part 2 or just a continuation. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video about how to get the worst roommates on the entire planet. I hope you guys enjoyed my ramble. I will see you guys soon. Just so you guys know, I do post at least once a week. I am still trying to step up my game. So help me out by giving me topics to talk about, or let me know what you like and what you don't like, so that I can kind of just incorporate that into my next few videos. I will see you guys soon. Oh, and if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Of course, I love to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Mwah! Subscribe. Do it. I will see you guys soon. Bye.